Let us understand how to project as well as filter data in data frames. Let's run this Python notebook first. It will expose two data frames by name orders and odd items. We can preview those two data frames here. As we have orders and odd items, we can perform few tasks to understand how to project as well as filter the data from data frames. To project, if you want to project only one attribute, you can say data frame name dot column name like this, or data frame name of column name like this. Both of them return something called as series, which we have seen earlier. That's why we are getting the output similar to series. However, if you want to project two attributes at the same time, then you have to project as data frame, and this is how you can project as data frame. You have to enclose all the attributes which you want to project as part of double square brackets. It will actually return a data frame for us. Now this data frame have only two attributes, odd item odd ID and odd item subtotal. When it comes to filtering, if you want to get those records whose order ID is 2 using our order items dataset, you can actually use several alternative options. We'll get into those details. First, let us get the columns that are part of our data frame. When it comes to data frame, you can use this columns attribute that is available as part of the data frame. It will actually give us all the column names here. You can see here, order items have 6 columns. They are nothing but order item ID, order item order ID, product ID, quantity, subtotal, and product price. Now you can actually say data frame name dot column name double equal to whatever value against which you want to compare. This will actually return a series of trues and false. And if you want to get only those records which satisfy the condition, then you have to pass it to our data frame as part of the square brackets like this. This will only return those elements from order items where the condition is true. You can also use this approach of passing the column name as key to the data frame. Order items is the data frame name, and we are passing the column name as key here. We can compare with this, and you can see series of trues and falses. Now you should be able to use this condition as part of our data frame using square brackets like this. Only those rows whose condition satisfies are returned here, others are ignored. You can also use a function called as query, and this is how you should be able to leverage query to apply filter. As part of query, you have to pass a string. That string should contain the column names as well as values against which you are trying to compare the values of the column. In this case, we are trying to compare order item order IDs from our order items with 2. This will return only those 3 records which we are looking for. Now, if you want to perform multiple conditions using boolean and or boolean or, this is how it will look like. In this case, we are trying to get only those order items with ID 2 and also where the subtotal is in the range of 150 and 250. So we want to see only these 2 records for order item order ID 2, and this is how it will look like if you use the series style approach. It will actually return only 2 records. If you want to use query, this is how it will look like. You can write the logic in one line. If you want to line break, this is how you can line break. This will actually return those 2 records which we are looking for. Now, while processing the data frames, if we have to compare against strings, we can actually leverage the string functions that are available as part of our core Python library. In this case, this will take care of getting only those orders which are placed in 2013 August 1st. This will also take care of the same thing. However, if you wanted to leverage, you can leverage the functions available as part of str using Python as engine. So in this case, let's say I want to get all those orders which are placed in the month of 2013 August. Because order date can be represented as string, we can leverage the starts with function that is available as part of the string class in Python. And we should be able to get all those orders which are placed on 2013 August month. Before getting into data frame based approach, first let us recollect how we can actually use starts with respect to regular string. Then we will actually see how this can be implemented as part of the data frame processing to get the orders which are placed in the month of 2013 August. Let me create a variable by name order underscore date. It is of type string and we have the date in it. You can explore the help on starts with. You can see the help with respect to starts with. You can validate whether a string starts with a particular series of characters. If yes, it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. In this case, if we say date dot starts with 2013-08, as it starts with that string, it should return true. Let's run this and you can see the output. It returns true. Now, if you want to use it as part of our data frames, you can say orders.query like this. Then you can specify the attribute name. As long as the data type is of type string, we can say .str like this, dot starts with, and then we can actually pass the string like this. as our main string is in single quote, the value against which we are comparing is passed as double quote here. Also, don't forget to specify engine equal to Python. If it is default, it will work. Otherwise, you have to explicitly say engine equal to Python so that this will work without any issues. Now you can actually see the results here. We are getting all those orders which are placed in the month of 2013 August. That being said, now let's perform few tasks to ensure that we are comfortable with filtering using data frames. Let's perform the first task to get all the orders placed by a customer where we will be passing the customer ID. If you want to use query, this is how it will look like. First, let's review the data of orders. You can see the output here. You can actually use query like this, and you can actually specify the customer ID like this, and then double equal to, and you can pass the customer ID. It have returned 16 rows. All these orders are nothing but those orders placed by customer 12,431. If you want to use alternative approaches such as series, now what you can do, you can just say orders of orders dot order customer ID double equal to 12,431. It will return the records which we are looking for. You can also replace this with this. So either you can specify column name like this, or you can pass it as key like this. This also will return the same results. You can see 16 records here. All the three approaches have returned the same results. Now let's go to the next task. As part of this task, we want to get all the orders placed by customer ID for a given month. Month is passed as YYY-MM. So we can use starts with, and we should be able to get the results we are looking for. This is how the condition will look like. Order customer ID double equal to 12,431 and order date dot str dot starts with 2014-01. Engine has to be Python. You can run this and you can see the results. If you want to use the other approach, you can just copy paste this one. Let's use this approach. Let me paste it here. Then I can say and like this, and then orders dot order underscore date dot str dot starts with, and we can actually say 2014-01 like this. However, there is a typo here. That's why it is failing. Let's see. Now you can see the result. It is not returning anything. Probably there might be something which is not correct. Let me see. Orders.order customer ID equal to 12,431 and orders.order underscore date dot str dot starts with 2014-01. It looks correct. I'm not sure why it is not returning. Let me try this directly like this. This doesn't work. I have to use str only. Let me run this once again. Now I got the problem. We just have to enclose each and every condition in circular brackets like this. Then it will work. Earlier, when I do not have it, it was not returning anything. But when I change, it is working as expected. Okay, so this is how you should be able to use the alternative approach of converting the attribute into a series and then apply condition on top of it. Now let's perform another task. In this task, we will be getting all the orders which are placed by customer with ID 12,431 in January 2014, and status is supposed to be only in pending payment or processing. So we are only looking for these two records. So using query, this is how it will look like. You can actually use in operator like this, and you can compare with multiple attributes against one column, and you should be able to get the results you are looking for. You can see the two records here. If you want to use the alternative approach, you can copy paste this one. Let me line break here, and then let me line break. Let me say ampersand here, and then we can actually say orders.order underscore status. We have to use a function called as isin. We don't have an operator in to actually compare the values against. We have to use the function isin. When it comes to isin, it actually take a list as argument. So we have to pass both processing as well as pending payment as a list to isin like this. So we can copy processing from here and paste it here as part of this list. And also we can say comma. We can actually copy paste pending payment as well. Now you should be able to run this and you should be able to see the results. However, if you remove this square bracket and also this square bracket and try to run this, it will fail, saying that isin takes 2 positional arguments but 3 were given. So the first argument is nothing but the column name, the second argument is processing, and the third argument is pending payment. If we pass these both as one list, then isin is invoked only with the 2 arguments. That's why with list it will work. This is how you should be able to use the alternative approach to actually take care of this task, which is nothing but get all the orders which are placed by customer with ID 12,431 in January 2014 and status is in pending payment or processing. So this is how you should be able to project and filter the data. Make sure you are comfortable with these data frame operations so that you can leverage those things as part of your data engineering applications, web applications, or mobile applications.